Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever and wherever you are watching. Let's get into 90 Day Fiance. uh, Happily Ever After. That's the one that we're talking about today. I almost forgot which one I was talking about. Let me cue that up that image. This is what we're talking about. 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After, Season 7, Episode 5. And as you can see on the thumbnail, I have the two most, well, there would be a third aggravating person here, but I didn't have space. Well, I could have put Charlie on there, but I didn't think about it until just now. But we have Libby's sister, think her name is Becky, not 100% sure, hoping that Andre gets sent back, and then Ed being the audacious bowling ball shaped person saying that Liz needs to work out. But we'll come back to that. Let's talk about Jenny and Submit first. Let me pull them up. You know what? Why did I do that? I just closed that out. Give me one moment to get these pictures up here. I thought I had set that up, but I guess I didn't. Let me put that there. Who else was on here? Angela and Michael. I don't think I have their picture. I do have Libby and Andre. And then who else? Oh, yeah, these two. That's okay. What I'll do is I'll leave this up while I talk about when I get to that part, because I don't, for some reason, I don't have a picture of Angela. Isn't that something odd? Maybe it's my subconscious mind didn't want to save a picture of Angela. I don't know. My subconscious mind is shady, I guess. I'm gonna go like this. and talk about Jenny and Submit. I like this picture of them because they actually look really, really happy. Let me read a couple comments. Tony Man says, third show is a charm. I hope so, because today has been a day. Who's more annoying, Ed, Bilal, or the drunk? You're thinking of Charlie? Is it Charlie that you're speaking of? That's what I'm thinking. That's a hard tie between Ed and Belial. They're both aggravating as hell. That's a hard one. I think Ed might slightly edge Belial out, only because we've got that phone call of him berating Liz, and we don't have that. We have Belial does more of a passive aggressive type of browbeating. Both things are abusive. Both things are emotionally abusive. But I think I would be more bothered by a walking bowling ball cursing me out over the phone than the demon that is Belial. I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments. Who's worse to you, Ed or Belial? Tony Man also says, couple who tried to fight that dude. I think you're thinking of Andre and Libby. And I think the flashbacks, maybe you're talking about when the multiple times that Charlie has tried to fight Andre, a fight I don't think he would win. Fomiki Latte says, hey. And Tony says, who would get that Lady Shasha cuss out? Both of them. Absolutely, both of them would get cursed out. I'm not one to hold my tongue, but let's talk about Jenny and Submit. They go ziplining, which I would not do because I don't like heights. But Submit has talked to Jenny about bungee jumping and skydiving, I think, as well. And Jenny's like, I'm 60. Well, it says 63, but I really thought she was like 67 by now. But who knows? What was I saying? So she does agree to go zip lining, and she screams the whole time, which probably that would have been me. I would have been screaming and probably peeing all the way down too, because like I said, I am terrified of heights. Zip lining is not a thing I would ever do unless someone was like, oh, I'll give you $500,000 to zip line. Then I might consider it just for the money, but it's not something I would ever do. Later, they go to this really, really beautiful, it's like a celebration. Submit says that it's a religious holiday. And I was looking around at the sites and thinking how it must smell amazing because they were burning incense everywhere. And I also saw like different foods being prepared. And I'm like, oh my God, I would be in heaven because I'm an incense burner. I enjoy the smell of incense. It's relaxing. I love it. And being there. And also they were on the water too. That must have been really, really nice. So they went to this lady who was making these floral rafts where the raft part was kind of made out of the leaves of the flower and it had flowers on the top, and I think it had a candle. I think it was a candle or maybe an incense. Something was lit atop the flowers. And so they lit that and they put it on the river for their wish. And unfortunately, it got hemmed up in something and then it capsized. And I guess the Lord might not have, or let me restate, the gods and goddesses may have vetoed that wish, and that's unfortunate. What else? What else did they talk about? Oh, Submit brings up possibly taking some yoga courses that center around Kama Sutra, which, if you don't know, that is a book that's written about how to improve your sex life, and it's not just, a lot of people think of it as just a positions book. Yes, there's illustrations of many different positions, but it also talks about other things in the book like rhythm and breathing and such things that make people have pleasure on both sides. And shout out to Submit for wanting to make sure that she also is enjoying their sex life. She says at her age, she knows that all there is to know and that she's seen the Kama Sutra already, so she doesn't need to learn anymore. But obviously, he thinks that she could use some pointers because he wouldn't have brought this up if that were the case. Or maybe she needs to show him the things that she knows. Maybe she hasn't shown him yet. I don't know. I'm not in the room with them. Toteman says there was a candle and incense sticking out of the top. Thank you, because I couldn't remember which it was, and apparently it was both. Oh, by the way, if anyone is a first time viewer here, first of all, welcome to the stream. Second of all, this stream is very bare bones because the internet has been slow today, and I'm in Florida and we are anticipating a hurricane coming. So that's why I'm only working with just a few photographs today, and then we'll get to the tweets. Usually I have some video that I show on these, but because, like I said, the internet is a little shaky, I'm just doing everything bare bones. So please refer to some of my other videos and you'll see that they have a lot more bells and whistles going on. But thank you for sticking with me through this bare bones time. Anything else with Jenny and Submit? Yes, Jenny mentions to Submit that possibly they could move to the United States. And Submit is not for this because he doesn't want to leave his family. And Jenny says the oddest thing. She says, well, if we live in the United States, then we will be alone and we won't have to worry about family because family in the United States doesn't do that. That's a lie. I'm quite sure you can find a lot of American people who have families that they consider overbearing or in their business too frequently. That's not a national thing. That's just a family dynamic thing. Some families have that dynamic where the people are in your business and they're going to be in your business, and other families are more distant. It just is what it is, but it's not like all Americans are just distant. That was an untrue statement, Jenny. Just like last week when Kimberly said that people don't have multiple wives in America, and I'm like, you're literally on the same channel as Sister Wives. You know that people in America, some people in America have multiple wives. You know that. Why did you even open your mouth and tell that lie? Like people don't have television, they can't see the Sister Wives. Anyways, let's we have a couple more comments here. Mickey Lodge says it's a nice way of him telling her she half-assing it. Yeah. Well, we know what the thing is. As you get older, your knees are not as strong. Maybe her knees are just not as strong to do certain things, and maybe he wants to explore other positions that maybe won't be too taxing on her joints. You know, she should think about that. I'm all for it. I don't have a picture of Angela and Michael, and we really don't need one. So I'm just gonna put. Let me see what I put up for them. I'm gonna put this back up while I talk about Angela and Michael because there isn't a whole lot to talk about. Angela met her friend, and this black lady that's hanging with Angela. She met her at the airport bathroom, and I guess the lady said, well, I guess she smelled cigarette smoke on me. So she was just like, oh, I really would love to have a cigarette. And so her and Angela went in the bathroom and smoked together, and they've been friends ever since. Angela is supposed to be packing to go to Nigeria, and she hasn't even started yet, even though they are going, they'll be leaving the very next day. And her friend brings her over an American flag hat, which we'll see on, I'm sure somebody retweeted a picture of it when I get into the tweets. Which, you know, also has, and of course, Angela loves it. But Angela takes this time to reveal to her friend that she has not told Michael that she's coming to Nigeria. It's going to be a surprise pop up because she says if I tell him, he'll have time to delete everything on his phone. Whereas if I just pop up on him, he can't delete the text messages. He can't delete this, that, and the other. I will be good goddamned if I'm in my 50s checking some dude's text messages. These are 20-year-old problems. These are major problems. No, I would not be. But as we've seen over and over again in the show, that most people on the show are living in a state of arrested development. So that's just what it is. And as we see in the previews, that Angela's going to go over there like a razorback wild boar and tear up Michael's car with her bare hands. That's a strong lady. Anyways, her friend is like, I think it's a good idea. And I'm like, this is the worst type of friend you could have, Angela. Someone that's a yes man. You need someone that talks sense into you. But this lady's a yes man. So she's, you know, they're gonna go on their way to Nigeria. Do I have anything else to add? I can't think of anything. Tony Man says, Thank goodness there's no Angela pics. Hopefully we stop Kimberly pics as well. Yes, we do. I don't have any Kimberly pics. So I'm going to leave this default up on the screen and get right into Kimberly and Usman because not much happened. They're still arguing about him having the second wife. And she meets up with him again. And poor Usman has to say, I must remind you that you are drinking hot coffee. The water is hot. Please do not throw it. And I just thought, when you have to say that, that should be the biggest red flag for you to not continue in this relationship. It's just wrong. Like when you have to ask politely that your paramour not throw hot water on you. That's if that does is not a wake up call, I don't know what is. I really truly feel bad for Usman. Um Somehow she gets him to apologize to her, even though she was the one that got angry, cursed him out, and threw a milkshake on him. Well, I don't know if it was a milkshake or whether it was like a frozen cocktail. Could have been a frozen cocktail. But the point is, she was violent towards him. And somehow she mind warped things into him apologizing to her. And then he says that he has some reservations about bringing her around his family because what if she acts like that again? And she, like the abusive person she is, promises that she'll never do it again when we know that she most likely will. Um, so they're preparing for her to meet his family, who he is telling us to the camera probably don't like her. And then, I mean, look at the last one he brought her. I can't even remember that girl's name. Baby girl Lisa? I think it was baby girl Lisa. That she was equally bad. Like Usman, a green card or American fame is just is it worth the abuse? Is it worth the abuse? I it couldn't be me. Did I read that one already? Yes, I read about Fomiki Latte says, I thought Usman liked the sadistic treatment. Maybe he might. Maybe he likes being treated horribly. Maybe that's his kink. I don't know. And specifically by elderly American women, elderly white American women, because I still feel in my heart of hearts that he would not tolerate this behavior from a black woman, whether American or Nigerian. I feel like he might be on that ish. Tony says he said it quickly, but I thought I heard him say milk. I think she threw milk on him. Okay, so do you have anything else? Oh, he tells her to behave herself or no yammy tonight. And that's a thing that I didn't need to hear. Okay, so who's next? Jovi and Yara. I think I do have an image of Jovi and Yara. Let's see here. There they are. And Jovi and Yara have just found out that Russia has invaded the Ukraine. And Yara says, and I'm going to read it verbatim, if I can make money to get expensive brushes, I can buy my family's freedom. It's a little bit more complex than that, Yara. I think a lot of people watching this have mixed emotions towards Yara's plight because of who Yara is. On the one hand, I think it's a consensus that anyone would feel for, excuse me, excuse me. I think it's a consensus that anyone would feel for someone whose country has been invaded and who has to worry about the safety of their family. I think that's a given that if you have a heart, if you have compassion, if there's nothing wrong with your frontal lobe, you would feel empathy for her. But I think a lot of us also feel like she needed a damn wake up call because she's been in La La Land for so long, being all about just image and nothing else, and just being really, really shallow and vapid would be how I describe her. And especially when she was walking around New Orleans talking about how trashy and disgusting America is, I think, that hurts when people say that about your country, especially when they've not seen all your country. They walk down one street that happened to have that's in a tourist destination, and of course, tourist destinations have heavy traffic. There's a lot of drinking around Bourbon. That's They were walking around the Bourbon Street area, and in that area, people are drinking all the time, and they're vomiting and carrying on. You can't judge. It was really ignorant for her to try to judge the whole country off of one little strip of vacation space in New Orleans, and I think that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Also, the back and forth between her and Julia, I think her name was, um, just Yar just gives off a negative, stuck up vibe that is not pleasing to people. So I think there is a little bit, just a tiny bit of people going, you know what, you needed that wake up call. Um, I'm not, I can't say I'm happy you're going through this because clearly no one should be happy that someone's going through something so extreme. But maybe it'll make her grow the hell up and recognize that there's more going on in the world besides just makeup brushes and breast implants. Like, wake up. So, I mean, that's maybe I'm pontificating too much, but that was my thought process. Tony Man says maybe Ukraine women are getting gassed up by American men, but they seem to look down their noses at people. Or could it be editing? I think it is. It does have to do with it, not just American men, but I think other men really gas them up. Like, think about it. These are a group of women, not speaking for all Ukrainian women. Let me rephrase that. Some Ukrainian women, the ones that go in these dating circles, these international dating circles. I'm not speaking again. I'm going to repeat it two more times. I'm not talking about all Ukrainian women. I cannot speak on all Ukrainian women. I can't even speak on a majority of Ukrainian women. I'm talking about a specific subset of Ukrainian women that utilize international dating sites to make money. That specific set of women, they probably do get gassed up because how can you not, if you all you have to do is text the dude and send him a picture and he sends you $500? Like, how can you not get your head gassed up when dudes will send you money for doing the bare minimum? So I cannot fault them for that, but it's not a good way to be, and eventually you will age out of that. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, and like I said, dudes are sending them money just to send a kissy face emoji in a photo. Like, that's wild. I'm not hating on it because if I could do it, I would do it. I don't know whether I would. I feel like it would weigh on my conscience too much. I don't think I could do it. But it was a funny joke to make. I have anything else on your Joven Yar? I don't think so. So let's talk about Elizabeth and Andre and how her sisters flipped the script on her real quick. Libby's sisters really turned the situation on her, and it's funny because they were on her side at when they went out to lunch with her mother, and they were all on the same page about Charlie and Charlie's behavior. Um, then I don't know what happened in between that time and this meeting, where they totally flipped the script and suddenly are on Charlie's side and saying that it's all Andre's fault. Don't know where this is coming from. Could be a put on for the cameras because, like I said, anybody who's, let me adjust myself my seat, anyone who's been on this show for as many seasons as the family Elizabeth has been on the show, it kind of lends itself towards us thinking that a lot of things could be orchestrated. So with that said, I don't know whether this is orchestrated or not, so I can't even begin to talk about how I feel about it because it might not even be real. So it's like I don't want to waste my time, you know, thinking about something that's just made up for the cameras. The thing that I would not have shared with them because they seem, if this is real, I would not have shared with them that Andre has to go to another immigration interview, because her sisters are so shady. I like one thing. If this was real life, I would say, Libby, stop telling your family everything because that's part of the problem. You run and tell them stuff, and then you run and tell Andre stuff, and then you're the common denominator that's keeping all this drama going. But like I said, this all could just be made for TV drama, not real life, anyways. What else? That one sister, again, I'm gonna keep repeating myself. If this is real life, when she sat there and said, "Good, I hope he gets supported," that was rude as hell. Especially knowing that your sister has already been married to this man for several years, has a daughter with this man, and you say something so uncaring. And I mean, what if she said something about your daughter that was trying to do those little spin turns with poor posture? Not to say anything bad about the child, because it's not the child's fault, it's the dance instructor's fault. That dance instructor did not correct that child's posture, and then they're talking about, I'm going to leave it alone because I've already said too much. I've already said way too much. Bless that baby. Hopefully, she gets a better dance instructor that will teach her better posture and teach her better moves. That's what I'll say on that. But on Libby's sisters, my final thought on Libby's sisters is, don't dish it out if you don't want people to, bring it back to you, because that's what's going to happen. Honestly, I don't really think anybody's children should be on these shows for that reason. Because you see what I just did? I almost veered into a very negative space, because it's not good to talk about people's children. It really isn't. But when you put them on television, it encourages people to have an opinion about them. I got off all on a tangent. Let's talk about Charlie and his wife. Um, Charlie is hilarious when he sat there and said, "Oh, you guys tell me when I ever got drunk and was toxic." And it's like, every time you get drunk and you try to fight Andre. And I can't wait for them. I swear to God, if Sean does not have Charlie on the tell all, play the clip of saying, "When did I ever get drunk and toxic?" And then right behind it, play all the clips of every time Charlie has gotten drunk and stupid. You're not doing your job, Sean. If you don't do that one thing, I'm going to say you really don't care. You don't care about your job. You're BSing us. You're sitting there looking beautiful in your monochromatic dresses, but you don't give a damn about us or this show if you don't do that one thing. I'm saying that right now. Remember, I said that. Tony Man says maybe. Oh, I read that already. Okay, so anything else? Oh yeah, I was talking about Charlie, and I forgot to mention his wife. He was taking pictures of his wife's feet, and she said that she made $70,000 on her foot fetish business. Which I don't know whether it's OnlyFans or not, but I'm pretty sure my feet look as good as her feet, and I'm just getting ideas. I'm trying to get ideas because that's nice vacation money. That's nice money to put away. That's I I know my feet look at least as good as her feet. I know they do. I just need uh pictures of my feet, and to know how to put. I have to study, like, what type of photos do foot fetishes like. I don't know. We will have to figure it out. Tony Man 100 says, "I bow to you. I need to practice that." Yeah, because like you really could go in, but certain things should be off limits. And I look at people when they purposely drag a child too much. Like, don't drag the babies, drag the parents, drag the people around them that are causing them to show up this way in the world, because it's not the baby's fault. They're just being babies. They're learning about the world. They're all beautiful. So I just feel like you shouldn't drag the babies, but I will drag that dance instructor because that was not it. Mm-mm. Fomiculactor says you should try it. I really, really am considering it, because if she really made 70 G's off of just taking pictures of her damn feet, I really, if I made an extra, let's say I made an extra 20,000 off of pictures of my feet, that would be helpful to me. I could get another car or fix up the car that I have. There's things you could do with that. Go on a trip, put it in savings. Who knows? Tony says, "I agree about your feet. I feel they look better than that meth head's feet." Thank you. I appreciate that. I just need to, pedicure and paint my toenails. And I think I got it a thing because I'm a sneaker queen. I wear sneakers all the time. If I'm not wearing sneakers, I'm wearing slides. So there's no calluses, there's no corns, there's no bunions, there's no foot distress. And I credit my grandfather for that because he always said the two things that you should take care of in your life physically are your feet and your teeth because those are the things that are going to bother you the most when you get older. Oh, I read that one. Did I have any other notes on anybody else in this show? If not, we will get right to the tweets. No, my last note says, and I'll read it verbatim, I cracked up when Charlie tried to explain how he is not an alcoholic. Yeah, that part. All right, let's get into these tweets. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen and I'm going to start sharing. Minimize that. Share screen. Here we go. And Fiza's red bag. Wait, was he on the show? Tony says you forgot Bilal. Was he on the show? I don't have any notes. I don't think he was on the show this week, was he? If he was, I totally have no notes on him. I don't remember what happened. Probably just more arguing about not having a baby. I don't have a single note on Bilal and Shida. So I guess nothing eventful happened. And I'm sure he's still a jerk. Okay, now where was I? And Fiza's red bag says Jenny's been 63 for the past 7 years. And that's why I was questioning when I looked at the picture and it said 63. I was like, I don't know. This is a funny picture though. Look at them lips. Tony Man says, I don't remember. Maybe it's next week's in the fertility doctor. I think there was just a bumper at the end that showed like coming up on 90 Day. Mikey says, if Submit was Jenny's age and they have Photoshopped Submit into an older fellow, and I think that's actually a nice looking photo of them. Like if that were real, I feel like that's cool. Coupled with Chaos says the couple with an actual reason to have a messy house is the only one with a clean place. Mm. Oh, that's who I forgot to talk about. This bowling ball. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about him, but I am definitely going to talk about him because he is. I'm only going to talk about one thing that he did, and that was when he told Liz that she needs to work out or she needs to lose some weight or something to that effect. And I was like, the audacity. His buttons are screaming for dear life and mercy, and he's talking about who needs to work out. The Shut Up 90 Day Fiance is on, says Liz does not need to. Liz does need to lose this 4'11" blob of fat, and she'll be glowing in no time. Mm-hmm. Blocked by Big Ed the Mucinex Snot says Big Ed has some nerve insinuating Liz is fat when he looks like a flea market Humpty Dumpty. Regarding that other picture, Fomiki Latte says hopefully Summit's hair will look better than that. I think it will. I think he has a nice amount of hair, and it's not thinning. And his father had a full head of hair as well, so I think his hair is going to look nice. That is really bad 90 Day Cray. It's so bad. They say Kimberly looks like the Subway ghost. Wow, she just needs something. Maybe there are facials that also include like an under eye treatment. Maybe that's something that would help her. But also, I think it's diet and smoking. She kind of gives me person who never drinks water, only drinks soda, and smokes a lot of cigarettes, and that will diminish your appearance. But here's the thing: the diminished outer appearance is just a symptom of problems with your insides as well. So what you're seeing on the outside is bags underneath the eyes or dark circles, and then on the inside it could be a problem with the liver. It could be a problem with your gallbladder and stuff like that because of diet, exercise, and smoking. So these things that happen on the outside are symptomatic of things that are happening on the inside. So you got to be careful with that. Full Mickey Lighty says these pictures are crazy. Oh, Twitter goes in. You do not want Twitter to have anything to say about you. The original Darcy's Revenge Wig says, reason number 1736 to quit smoking. If you don't, Angela will bum a cigarette off you and you'll end up on a plane to Nigeria. 90 Day Cray says, Big Ed isn't rich, funny, nice, or hot. What the F does Liz see in him? I have no clue. I guess just I put her in the same category. I feel like I have like cat hair on me. It's one thing about lip gloss. It will pick up every little fiber in the air. Liz gives me the same vibes as two baby mama guy that's dating Natalie. They just want to be on television. They're clout chasing, and it's really, really sad. Veronica says, wait, this is her hair after it got done? Oh dear. Yeah, she said she had her hair done, and I was like, where? She said, my hair is done. If whoever charged you to do this, they're a crook, they're a criminal, and they will never see heaven for lying to you like that. Tony Man says, when Ed had the purple button up, I started singing Oompa Loompa Doopity Doo because he looked like Veruca Salt. Also, I was embarrassed by his corny lines. That chick, I have better one-liners. I said Caesar had better pickup lines than Ed. And we were laughing at Caesar. Kim in that ponytail, she lying. Yeah. And I feel like she's had this hairstyle since middle school, that she's never changed it. I bet you if we found a picture of Kim in 1980 whatever, and she was 12 years old, this is the hair that she had then, and except maybe she might have had bangs with the ponytail, and now she doesn't have bangs. I think the bangs bring the bangs back. Llama Drama says Ed thinks Liz should work out. Shocked. And there's a photo of a woman, and it says shocked by the audacity. 90 Day Cray says, tell me you're MAGA without telling me you're MAGA. And this is the hat that I told you guys about that Angela's new friend gave her to travel because they said they have to represent. Phil Mickey Lighty says, where her edges at? I don't know. I think they're just gone. Her edges are gone. Veronica says, Big Ed's shirt is about to bust. A button may take out the cameraman's eye, and yet he has the nerve to fat shame Liz. That's what I was saying. That him sitting up there. Tony Man says, Kim has the, what is it, GWWH hairstyle, greasy white woman hair. Oh my God, Tony Man. You said it. I did not say that. I've not heard of that before, but 90 Day Effery says, when you find out that the second wife isn't a baby making machine and would actually be treated like a person. Yeah. Oh, we didn't forget about what she said about Nigerian women, how they're, and to paraphrase, she basically called them breeders. And I felt like there was a tinge of racism in that. And I don't care if she has a black child. I don't care if she has a black ex-husband. There are people that are like that they can get married, they can have children, and they still have certain negative thoughts in their mind about the women of that culture. Like, she might love black men, but I don't think she has a single black female friend. That's what she's giving me. And that also tells me that she doesn't see them as men. She sees them as property. She sees them as talking sex toys. And that's not healthy. That's not right. That's fetishy. Yeah, fetishy. 90 Day Effery also says, this dude looks like he sells coke instead of houses now. Oh, well, if you check his record, 90 Day, he's got multiple mugshots for possession of a controlled substance. or and some of them say possession of a narcotic. So I don't know why it's written. Maybe different counties write up things differently, but the mug shots are there. Tillman says, "No worries, you'll always have plausible deniability when I post." Yeah, I'm crediting you with what you are saying. Jack says, "How can I further humiliate, gaslight, and degrade my wife on national TV?" That's exactly what he's thinking. Because there's no way he thinks that this is a good look for him. Mrs. Ackerman says, Bilal really had the audacity to tell Shida that her behavior was wrong, although she remained calm the whole time. Meanwhile, Shahida was making a scene. I really want to go through the screen and punch him. I'm going to click over here to top comments and see what comes up. Fomiki Latte says, that's why her hairline went to hell. I read those. 90 Day Craze says, I'm so over these Tampa Kardashians. Not even. They could never. First of all, this ensemble here, what is this? That's not even the right yoga pant look. If you're gonna do the yoga pant and latte mom thing, you have to get better yoga pants than those. Those aren't even Lululemon or Lululemon. I hate that people say Lululemon. I feel like Lululemon sounds so much better than Lululemon. Either way, that's not even that. Like those are like Target specials. I don't know. This is not even an Adidas jacket. See, look at me being a label snob. I'm only saying that because they're being compared to Kardashians, and Kardashians are label. They get paid to wear labels, so that's why I wouldn't compare them to that. Also, I don't know what this crimp thing is going on with her hair, and it's cut really weird. I don't know if you noticed, the layers are cut really, really weird. I don't get it. Susie Kim says, how the F is Jabba, hinting at anyone to lose weight. I would be so offended. Shut Up 90 Day Fiance is on, says, this was filmed several months ago and it's still going on. Heartbreak. Boston says, what is up with Kimberly's walk? Is she bow-legged, pigeon-toed? Why does she walk like she has a full diaper? The answer is she's actually knock-kneed. I noticed that she has knock knees, and I don't know if there's any way to fix that. I think that's a thing that they either put children's legs into braces to try to correct, or they might tell you to strengthen your leg muscles so that they support your knees better. But other than that, I don't think there is a cure for knock-kneedness. 90, what is it? Mazvi says, Jovi has greatly matured since we last saw him. Of course, he still makes dumbass comments, and he's not the sweetest guy you can find, but you can tell he's actually working on himself and is committed to his family. You can see that when I did retweet, because I thought that was nice. M says, does Belial not understand how a woman's biological clock works? He's either an idiot or a manipulative jerk or both. I'm going to go with both. 90 Day Effery says she's consistently making a big show about leaving, then remembers she can't afford a plane ticket. Here's your picture, Angela. Michael snapped after dealing with this woman's BS for years. He knows it's over and wants to be compensated for emotional stress. Or, you know what else I thought about why he asked for that $5,000? I found out that on this show, 90 Day only pays the American partner for the regular 90 Day Fiance and 90 Day Happily Ever After. I think the people on 90 Day the other way do get paid because they have work visas in their country. That's what 90 Day is saying, why they don't pay the foreigners that are marrying on the regular 90 Day, because they don't have a work visa yet. So they don't get paid. So maybe Michael is like, well, I know you're getting paid off the show. Why don't you give me half? In a working relationship, she would just offer him half since he's also on the show. But I think that's why he's really asking for the $5,000, because he sees she's getting all this work done. She's had several plastic surgeries. She's, upgraded her home, and he does have a car, so she did make sure, but he has car payments. And I'm like, why would he have car payments when you're getting paid off of 90 Day? You should have been able to buy him a car outright. But It is what it is. I might have read this before, but I'll read it again. That's why her hairline went to hell, is what Full Mickey Latte says about Kimberly. And Tony says, I was knock-kneed as a kid. I wore braces for a few years. I think it was from 5 to 7. Oh, I didn't know that. That's very interesting. 90 Day Effie says, imagine this popping out of nowhere to surprise you. Also, why I don't know why she insists on straightening her hair. She has curly hair and she straightens it, but she doesn't do it quite. It's not like a silk press where it's, done well. Um, I don't know why she's doing this. And then also with the platinum blonde. Reality says, Charlie, when have I ever got too drunk and tried to fight someone? Every 90-day episode. And there's Charlie with Andre having him in a headlock because I don't know why you think you can take Andre. There's just Andre used to be a bouncer. I am I the only one that remembers that he used to be a bouncer? I think that's how Libby met him. He was a bouncer at a club in Ireland. He's from Moldova, but he was working in Ireland at the time. I read that one. Susie KM says, y'all have had some cringy a-holes on your network, but this one, in my imagination, I'm sorry, in my opinion, takes the cake. Shut Up 90 Day Fiance is on, says, Rose literally gave us a rundown on the type of person Big Ed is, and yet here we are, Liz. What the F? Exactly. And that's why I said I didn't want to cover it, because you saw how he treated her. We saw also how he treated you and how he cursed you out on the phone for giving somebody a ride home from work. And you want us to care about how he is on the show? You had a choice. You saw what it was. You still went for it. So I don't know what to tell you. Jenny, you've dealt with this woman. You can conquer anything else, including ziplining. I don't think she's that tough of a woman. She is very much a the boy who cried wolf. She's always threatening to kill herself, always threatening to, she's always crying and theatrical. When you do that all the time, it's not dramatic anymore. It's just your natural state of being, and who's gonna respond to it anymore. Submit's mother is just something else. Oh wait, I got a couple comments here. Go. So it says, I was thinking about the annoying bug-eyed chick from the other show. She literally married a mountain man, but just to get a divorce. How long were they married? They might still be married. I don't know if their divorce is complete. You're talking about Natalie and Mike. I still call him the mountain man also. Mike the mountain man. They might, I don't know if their divorce is final or not. Foamy Kid Latte says, I feel like 90 days using that as an excuse. Yeah, because they could find a way to pay these people. They could get entertainment visa or something like that to pay these people. Tony says that dude has the young Republican haircut. Are you talking about Charlie? I've heard in the Twitter streets that their family is like MAGA affiliated type of thing, but I don't know for sure. That's just a rumor. Seaweed Snack says, not Charlie trying to figure out why people think he's toxic while he's crawling out of his skin and licking his teeth. Um, Blocked by Big Ed says, Nigeria, I am the spokesperson for USA, and I can confirm that we are all okay if you keep Angela forever. Our gift to you. No take backs. Why would you wish that on Nigeria? That's just mean. Shell Bell says, I still don't understand how Ed's mom won't talk to him. I'm anxiously waiting to hear her side because there has to be something else other than Liz. She's always been so supportive, so I find it hard to believe. Yeah, his mother and his daughter aren't talking to him. And Jean-Luc Picard says, me listening to Liz complain about Ed as if she didn't know exactly who he was and still stuck around. Exactly. Let me retweet that, because that's it in a nutshell right there. Let me retweet that. 90 Day Craze says, in the name of gender equality, we demand abuse of Angela be canceled. Lonnie says, I have to say I love 90 Day Fiance Twitter family. We all unite with this series. Yes, you unite to shade the hell out of the people on this series. I read that one. Vegas Girl blog says, Angela's best friend is a stranger she smoked a cigarette with. This is true. And Fee's Redback says, why? Oops, let me do this. Why is it that the other cast members get the boot when they misbehave, and yet Angela gets rewarded with new teeth, surgery, and shows by 90 Day Fiance? I'd like to know. This is true. If she were male, I'm pretty sure she'd be out of here. Although some of the other cast members um, have really crossed the line with the racism thing. I think what's crazy is they draw the line at, well, certain racist things, because Angela has said some things that have borderlined. Very borderline. That little lady from, where was she from? Was she from Russia? I think she was Russian. The little lady that sang, she did a whole bunch of racist stuff online, and she got the boot. If someone shows you who you are, believe them. Yes, that is Maya Angelou. I think that's a quote from Maya Angelou. Steph says, so let me get this straight. Charlie and his annoying ass wife think they're really going to manipulate every single viewer into thinking we didn't see his destructive drinking behavior with our own eyes. This is true. Candy says, if orgasms by the plentiful was a face. Oh, and it has the quote there too. I wish I had seen this. I would have put it up on the screen earlier for my earlier 90 Day to Single Life live stream. Black Girl Gone says, Usman is so not physically attracted to Kimberly. It's so obvious. I read the Humpty Dumpty one. Tiffany says, but why does Kimberly want him to treat a human being like just a baby maker, in her words? She's so gross, and Usman needs to quit chasing after old white ladies for a green card and relevance. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to retweet that because that's kind of, it's not kind of, it is true. And Veronica says, Elizabeth's sisters suck. Being giddy at the idea of Andre being sent back is shitty, and Charlie's a toxic, alcoholic drug addict. I read that one. I think I read these. Oh, those were two different tweets. Gino's hat says, oh, almost knocked over my microphone. Gino's hat says, Charlie to his foot model wife. Like, when did I drink too much and then try to fight people? The wedding, the barbecue. Now we know he is a blackout drunk who doesn't watch his sister's show or is a lying alcoholic. This is true. I will have to retweet that because I concur. Heidi says, I can't stand watching Libby's family. They both know you don't like Andre. Everybody knows it. You have said your piece, and now just shut up about it and move on and accept he's in your family. No need to keep saying things and being immature about it. But that doesn't make for a good TV show, and they are trying to be on TV. I think they really would love to get the family Chantel treatment, but I don't think it's ever going to happen because TLC doesn't like to be around when the cops come, and the cops come too frequently for them. I mean, the risk analysis. They probably did a risk analysis and said, this is a family of people with mugshots, and TLC always hightails it out of sight when the cops show up. So they don't want it any more. They want to get just enough. They'll get just enough from that family for ratings, but they're not going to, I don't think they'll give them a full show. Oh, I got to take this off the screen there. Shannon says, Ed and his fiance are both American. They should be disqualified from the show. Yes, that is true. They shouldn't even be on the show. Yeah, let me retweet that because that is so true. Shut Up 90 Day Fiance is on, says Liz. Ed is a horrible person and keeps talking about my weight. 20 minutes later, Liz. Ed is so great and such a different person from a year ago. This is why we don't care, Liz. Gino's hat says, Ron, why would you go to a Kama Sutra class? Betty, again? These seniors be wilding out. Yeah, they've told you that they get it in and they're better and they do it better than young people, which it makes sense. If you've had more years to practice, you should be better at it. Tony says, I think she was Ukrainian as well. Give me a sec, I'll look it up. And then he says, she's from Russia, you're right. Yes. Diomio says, Ed looks like he's pregnant and Liz needs to lose weight. Unreal. Yeah. So it's a consensus on Twitter that Ed is a jerk. I think now I'm starting to see tweets repeat, so I'm gonna get off of Twitter. Oh yeah, this right here. What the actual F I can't. This was shout out to Hot Flash Honey for taking this screen capture. This is what they were showing us of Charlie and his wife, don't remember her name. Um of they're taking photos of her feet for her foot business. Hey, whatever works. Um Fomiki Latte says, it is funny that their family is conservative, but they actively engage in sex work. It's always that way. It's all those be the freakiest people you'll ever find are in churches. Tony Man says, I need to get that Kama Sutra book from my mom's bookcase. Yeah, the book is maybe 1,000 years old. That book may be 1,000 years old. And Tony Man says, meow meow. Yeah, you can hear her. I'm sorry about that. She's just probably it's because of the storm. I think she's probably acting up because of the storm. She can. I mean, cats and dogs they can feel when something is coming. Diomo says, Liz, forget about the gem. You need LASIK surgery to actually see the little troll you're with. I think that's it. That's the tweet of the night. I'm sorry. I have to retweet that. And it ordinarily I would not, you know, be that harsh on Ed, but he deserves it this week. He deserves it. Gino's hat says the producers are dirty for this. Someone could have hosed Liz off. I don't know. There was some more tweets that I had retweeted. Let me go here and just make sure that I covered them all. I think I covered most of them, but just in case. Those are the most recent ones. Here they go. Booty Illmatic. Lizette, stop all that caterwauling. Booty is Illmatic says, I'm done hearing about Bilal not wanting to have a child with his wife. And 90 Day Fiance themselves tweet, Liz's dance class has really improved things for her and Ed in the bedroom. This looks terrible. Her and her friend, who's not her friend, by the way, because like I said, when she ran off crying and her friend decided to stand there with Ed and look at her pictures rather than seeing about her friend, that's not a friend of you. That's just somebody that wants to be on television. I hope you know that. Booty Illmatic also says Usman said he had sex with Kimberly to adapt to the American culture. And I don't know how to read that word. It's probably laughing out loud in a way. Get out of here. I read that one. Maz V says, why are people shocked that Jovi wants to protect his wife and his child? Considering how he's been in the past, he's right about the situation needing a bit more rationale. But the Kiev comments were definitely ignorant. And Mosby also says Jovi has greatly matured since we last saw him. Of course, he still makes. I think I've read that one already, but it bears repeating. He still makes dumbass comments, and he's still not the sweetest guy you can find. But you can tell he's actually working on himself and is committed to his family. And I read this one about the Jabba the Hutt, which I mean, I'm sorry, you did it to yourself by opening your mouth and saying that dumbass stuff, Ed. And with that, I think I'm gonna end the tweets on that and get ready to get out of here because it is now 5 o'clock and I'm very hungry. And also I have to prepare for another live stream. Believe it or not, it will be the fourth one today. I will show you what that's about because I had just Did I not make a screenshot of it? I did not make a screenshot of it. I'm going to write in the chat. I will be on the Trashed Picture Show at 6:10 today. We will be talking about horror anthologies. Horror anthologies like Tales from the Crypt, Creep Show, the series that's on Shudder, Tales from the Dark Side, um, Masters of Horror, Twilight Zone, that sort of thing. That's what we will be talking about. Before I go, I want to show you one more meme that this describes Ed perfectly. This is Ed. This meme right here. And it illustrates the type of guys who think that there's, well, our culture kind of, American culture kind of breeds that. Like when you see the Cosby Show and you look at what Bill Cosby looks like and you look at what his wife on the show looks like, Family Guy, The Simpsons, King of Queens, these type of shows kind of give the false sense that any schlubby guy can get a hot wife, and that's not how this thing works at all. That's why I kind of liked Roseanne, the show Roseanne. It was more realistic. Like that couple looked like a real couple. Like they would be together. You see that makes sense. But anyways, I am pontificating too long about this. Let me get out of here and get something to eat and get ready for the next live stream, which is going to be at 6 o'clock on the Trash Picture Show. Like I said, talking about horror anthologies. Right. And with that, I will bid you adieu until next Monday, hopefully, as long as the storm doesn't completely wipe us out. Knock on wood that we're going to be safe here in Florida through the weekend, because we're supposed to get it heavy on Thursday. So I don't know what's gonna be popping over the weekend. So we'll play it by ear. See you next time.